Hello, hello. Happy Tuesday, everyone. Come on down. Let's get busy. We've got some things to do, don't we? We always do. Today is Tuesday, which means there's a tip today. It also means that it's Taco Tuesday. I will be cooking today at 4 p.m. Eastern, right here. And I'd love you to all to join me. Today I'm going to show you how to make tacos in bulk. You know, that's one thing about tacos, you know? They just don't seem to cook evenly and all at the same time, do they? Hi, Patricia and Sarah. Jenny's in the house. Come on in, everyone. Hi, Kathy. Good to see you. And Martha. Love to see all my ladies coming in. It's a beautiful day in the neighborhood. Hi, Susan. It is Taco Tuesday, by the way. Trisha, hello. Good afternoon, Catherine. Hi, Amy. Mimi, good to see you. And Susan's in the house. Joanne. Hello, hello. It is good to see everyone. It's a good day. It's a beautiful day, actually, out there. It's still a little chilly. Hi, Marianne. Come on in. So it is Tuesday. I'm going to talk a little bit about overthinking because I'm an overthinker. Hi, Ruth. Thank you. Yeah, it's my birthday tomorrow, you guys. Not gonna lie, it's there. Hi, Jane. You bought my raised beds and planting your garden. Ooh, how fun. Good afternoon. Yeah, you know what? I would love to be planting something. I just have too many trees. I don't have anywhere to put it. I am so excited that I'm on your schedule. Yes. Yay. Christine, good afternoon. Come on in. It's fun watching the numbers tick up and seeing everybody come in. It's like we're having tea together or coffee or whatever. Hi, Liz. Anyway, I'm going to put my thing seems to be going down here. I am almost the amazing girl. I am almost the birthday girl, the amazing girl. Yes, I am, Diane. Hi, good to see you. And Sharon, thank you. Thank you, everyone. Yes, it's my birthday tomorrow, and I have a great birthday present. I get to have Marla and Robert over for dinner. We're excited about that. And and while we are still, I think we're all really kind of social distancing, we have chosen to be able to get together with them. They have kept the same standards that we have, pretty high standards, not doing anything except one person going out for groceries in the last months, I say plural. And so we made a decision. We talked about it. You know, is this a safe thing? Is this a good thing to do? Yeah, it is. We're fine. And I think that's how we have to do it. You know, I think it needs to be very individual and very thought through. That's how we did it. So, yes, it's my birthday tomorrow, and tomorrow I am, you know, I plan on staying in my pajamas all day. You won't see me. I'll just be a mess. No, I'm just kidding. I will probably do my hair. I'm thinking that I'm going to get the whole hair dye thing out and just give it a try. I ordered it. I've got it. It's sitting there. It's ready to go. I've been afraid to open. I mean, I bought it. I've been afraid to do it, but I think, you know, every time I look at it, I'm thinking, how much longer is it going to be? And as much as I love my hairdresser, you know, he's in one of these little places where it's just him and his chair and it's a little cubicle and it's all closed in. I don't know that I'm going to take it, that I'm going to be able to do that. So that's where I am right now with all of that. Maybe I'm going to be doing my hair at home. Oh my goodness. Who knew it would come to all of this? And as far as all the nails and everything are concerned, you know, I sure wouldn't mind a pedicure. And I did away with the nails a couple of years ago. But whatever, who cares, right? Who cares? You know, the fact is, we can't overthink some things, can't we? Those are some of the things that I overthink about, which is just ridiculous. I want to talk about that today because I think it's such a good topic. We all do this. And especially now when we've got, you know, supposedly we have time on our hands. I mean, I love how everybody thinks we have all this time in the world to pick up all these new habits and new hobbies and things like that. Well, for me, not a lot has changed, except I get out of the house a whole lot less, But at the same time, I will say that getting out of the house is it's like a huge treat. We went the other day and went and looked at a house with Marla just a couple of days ago, Sunday, I guess, with Marla and Robert. No, nothing, just to go look at a house, and, nothing that I would ever buy. And it was just it was funny. Marla said I had to get it out of my system, and I did. It was well out of my system now. But you know what the fun thing was, though? It was just having a little something on the books, a little something to do, that didn't involve the four walls of this house or just this little property. Anyway, Christine said she's decided to let the gray fly. I would, except I am patchwork gray, and that just doesn't work. That just doesn't work. If you've got gray here and on the top of your head and then nowhere else, you start to look just a little bit like you have mange or something. So I don't think so. So let's talk about this overthinking thing, shall we? And don't forget too, right now, by the way, our supplements are all being shipped today. This is what they're telling me. And I'm telling you, talk about overthinking. I am ready to just knock this guy. I'm not ready to knock some heads. I am. And I think I'm a pretty patient person, but when I hit that place of like losing my patience, get out of the way. That's kind of where I am right now. So hopefully this is really going to come into play, but I've got a call scheduled later on with him today. And I'll let you know how it's going. Anyway, one of the things that we have done, though, is we have see them all hanging there upside down, because that's how I can do. It's the Body Clutter Wise Women's Supplements. It is the Body Clutter Wise Women's Supplements. All four of them, we call them the core four because they're so important to your health. And I want you to look and read all about them. I'm not going to give you the lowdown right now, but I want you to go in there. I'm giving you an assignment. Go read about them. The research is there. Go to savingdinner.com/wise and read all about them. There's a lot of stuff in there that's amazing. It's amazing. And I want you to know that they've all been chosen for a reason. It's all based on the latest research, because you might be taking supplements based on old research. And I want you to know, especially about the CalMags, especially about the D, especially about all of them, and especially about the B vitamins. Because if you have a mutated gene, you're not methylating, meaning that you're not getting them in your body. Yes, I have. Amy's asking, do you have a multivitamin coming? Yes, we do. That's part of our shipment. It's supposed to come. So if you order these core four, and you order our Wise Women's Tea, which we're getting thin on, by the way, if you order all of that, our whole Wise Women's product line, we will ship it to you free. You just put ships free in the subject line, in the little promo code. That's all you have to do. And then if you buy $200 worth of stuff, I'll throw in a mindful mug and write you a little note. If you get $100 worth of stuff for $5, you can get this wonderful little mindful mug. And I wrote a blog post about that. We're supposed to be getting a C and zinc, but again, I'm still waiting on these guys. I have so many things in. I've already formulated it with the formulator, just waiting on it. That decaf's going to be a long haul, Joanne. That's one of the problems that I'm having right now, and I'm working with the tea guy right now. So we'll see. We will see. You know what? Here's the thing. When it's yourself, and when you are the one doing it, and you're the one putting stuff together, it's a matter of getting the other people to work on your behalf and get things in place and in line. And when you say, let your yes be yes and your no be no, and by God, you need to follow up. You need to be a man or a woman of your word. That's the way it is. That's the way it is. And jacking people around and saying, sorry, but this machine, and isn't it, I can't count on that machine or not. I can't say that, yes, that machine broke down. I mean, that's a great excuse, right? I'm a little frustrated. I'm not going to lie, but I'm not going to overthink it. I'm going to talk about it. And remember this, hope and fear cannot occupy the same space. Invite one to stay. So today, I'm inviting hope to stay. That's what Maya Angelou tells me to do, and she's a wise woman. That is one original wise woman. I am inviting hope to stay, and I'm inviting all of you to put every little prayer that you've got, some good energy, juju, whatever you want to call it, onto this manufacturer following through on what they said they're going to do, and get me my supplements. Leanne's losing her mind. Oh my goodness. And so much energy that goes out to that. And that's why I want to talk to you about overthinking versus doing, because we spend so much energy on that overthinking piece, right? Anybody? Anyone? I know you're here. I know you're here. This is why you're tuning in. You do the same thing that I do. You know what? When I think about all these things, I think about what I'm doing and where I'm finding myself having to pause and think, okay, wait a minute, what are you doing here? And I think, oh, you're doing it too. That's why I drag you in with me. So I think about this and I write these things out and I look in my books and I read and I research and then I say, okay, here we go. Here's how we can fix that. But anyway, the ships free stuff, don't forget, you have to write ships free in the promo code when you're checking out. And that way you'll get all of your Wise Women's products. You'll have your tea, you'll have the core 4 supplements, amazing stuff. And I am super proud of this line. It's a lot of work has gone into it, and I really want you to take advantage of it while we have it, because we've already got another order in, and I'm hoping they're going to deliver. So we're getting skinny on it, but it's there. Take advantage of it and order it. We have ended the sprint, and we've had some beautiful testimonials. Put your testimonial in the Facebook group if you haven't already, or you can send it in to support@savingdinner.com. I want to know how you did. This is something that we have put together that's a free program, and we have a lot of people who are going through it right now. So if you have sprinted, make sure you're staying in the group and supporting those who are going through it this week. This is what we do. When we encourage and support and we're there for each other, we are women, true women, wise women, helping each other. This is how it works. While we're in the drudges, digging the trenches, somebody else is giving us water and handing us a cloth to wipe our sweaty brows. And sometimes it's our turn to dig. So it's their turn, they're digging. So be a support, would you? That's how we work as women, wise women. Friday is Q&A, guys. Q&A. So if you have a question, a nutrition question, if you have a food question, if you have a cooking question, whatever it is, whatever you have, just send it in to me at support@savingdinner.com. Question for Leanne on Friday in that subject line. And there you go. There you go. Alrighty, I think that's it. Don't forget, you can support us too. As a supporter, you get Dinner Answers. It's $7 a month. Go to Dinner Answers, or go to savingdinner.com and look at Dinner Answers. It's right there on our front page. $7 a month. We've lowered the price. Pandemic pricing. When you support us, you're supporting a small women-owned business. Don't forget that. And the families and the women who work here and their families. It's a great thing that you're doing. And in return, we're going to give you some menus that support your family, because that's how we roll. We like to believe that we're in this big circle of love and support and encouragement. This is what we do all the time. And this is why we have the longevity that we've been here for that long. All right, what do you think about overthinking? Are you overthinking about overthinking? That's how I roll. That's my life story right there. And I told you it's my birthday tomorrow. And I was thinking to myself as I was overthinking, well, at some point, doesn't this just stop? Don't you stop overthinking about thinking? And then I've thought about all of that, and I thought, it's a habit. Overthinking is just a habit. And it's something that we do in lieu of actually doing, and we use that. But I think it's a trap. Don't you think it's a trap? Overthinking is a huge freaking trap. It's like you're walking along and all of a sudden your foot gets caught in the bear trap and you're thinking, oh, what was that? You get caught in that trap and you go nowhere fast and you're in pain and you're suffering and you're thinking about everything, and you're worrying, and you're wondering, and then you start to think, well, if I did this, it would be better. And then you call friends and think about all of this stuff. We overthink things. We overthink things in the name of trying to do the right thing. That's what it is. We're trying to do the right thing, as if doing one thing wrong is going to make the whole world topple over. It's really ridiculous when you think about it. It's hilarious when you think about it. But it's also a big fat trap. And I just want you to keep that in mind. And if you're taking notes, draw yourself a little bear trap to remind yourself. Because we all do it. It is a trap. And I want to go through several things that I've been overthinking about. And that just is that, we think that if we're going to sit there, I have to think about that. That's something we'll say. Well, I got to think about that. So if I think about it, it's not giving me insight. It's not giving me wisdom. It's giving me an excuse. It's getting me off, out of the way. It's making me think that somehow or another, this perfect idea is going to spring out of nowhere. And we are going to, there you go, Monica said it right there. I paralyze myself with my fears and worries. That's overthinking. We all do it. We paralyze ourselves because, yes, it's partly perfectionism. It's also partly worry that we're not going to do it right, which is also perfectionism. But it also goes beyond. It goes to this place of having us believe that if we think of the right thing at the right time and we perform it well, we're never going to have to go back there again. And that's simply not true. That is part of the trap. It's a trap. So what I've noticed, and when I did this to myself, I checked myself yesterday, like a hockey player, and just said, stop it. You're overthinking things. What needs to happen here is it needs to just be done. So are we looking for the perfect exercise program? How much are you really going to do all of your research? Now, when I say to do your research, it's true. We need to do some research, but we are not paid to be researchers, right? We're not sitting in laboratories, pulling everything out and writing these big exhaustive papers. We're just simply trying to find something that's going to work for us. So rather than overthinking it, why don't we just start trying things and see what works? That's the thing that needs to happen, is we need to just start doing. And from there, we can start ticking off and saying, nope, nope, nope. This is how I found out that rather than spending a lot of time, exhaustive amount of energy and time and research and what have you, looking at the perfect exercise program, this is how I found out yoga wasn't for me. I took a yoga class. I bought a pass for 12 weeks and I did yoga for 12 weeks and I didn't like it. That's not criminal. That's okay. But I'm coming from the place of having experienced it, having done it, and having come to that conclusion. Instead of overthinking it, overdoing it, and over Googling it, I did it. That's how we get to that place. We have to do it. So when we know it's happening, stop. When we know we're doing it and we know it's a habit of doing it, flip it. And instead of overdoing it, start doing something about it and do the yoga class. The other thing is we have to recognize that it's exhausting. It's exhausting to our mind and it's taking up a lot of energy. And if we use that energy and redirect that energy into something constructive for ourselves instead of just this endless litany of all the things that it could possibly be. And well, maybe I haven't checked here and maybe I need to check there. Maybe I need to call a girlfriend. Maybe I need to check on this online group. Maybe I need to check out 50 more websites. Maybe I need to then go talk to my husband about it, talk to my children about it, talk to a few more friends about it. And the next thing you know, 12 weeks have passed by. Where have you just given it an opportunity to try it out? You may have found out that yes, it's for you, or maybe it's not. It's like the yoga class. I found out it wasn't for me. But And I'm telling you this is one time where I did it right, but there's a lot of times where I haven't. You know, make a plan, follow through, do it. If it doesn't work, it's not the end of the world. You are not creating life's plan. You are creating simply a new direction. Overthinking keeps you paralyzed and stuck. And the other thing is like, but if you're overthinking, like let's say that's one thing, but then there's the overthinking of something that went wrong, something, a relationship that's maybe in a tenuous place, or something that you're, or somebody's sent you a conspiracy theory thing. I've had a few of those sent to me. And, I think we need to come to the place of starting to ask ourselves, well, is this true? Is this really 100% true about this conspiracy theory, or about this person, about this book, this idea? Are all these things 100% true? I don't think we can ever really get to the absolute bottom line of everything and know for sure. We could certainly pontificate and chew on it and think about it, can't we? And we can read all the stuff, and there is a lot of stuff, and we also are at the mercy of confirmation bias, meaning that we already have an idea, or we already have our belief system, and we are looking for things that are going to support something that we already believe. And that's really hard for us, because it's really hard for us to really make an unbiased opinion, especially when we've got that working for us. If we understand that, then we have an opportunity to really check it. But, we've got to look at that. We've got to ask, is this true? Is this true about this person? And then if we are in that place where we're thinking about a relationship, or thinking about, a life-changing decision, and we've got to go that way, and we've got to make a decision about something like that. And we've all been in that place. We've all been in that place where it's just been awful decisions that we've had to make. But, what do? I believe that we have to pray about it. We have to seek counsel, and not in the way that it's a constant whine fest, and it's constantly venting, and it's constantly talking and just, hearing yourself talk. But seeking counsel from somebody we admire, somebody whose wisdom we've admired in the past, somebody who we feel confident in, that what we are going to say is going to stay confidential, and that what we're going to say is going to be done that there's going to be a conversation that's uplifting. It's not about gossip. It's not about taking the other person down, but it's instead about what's in your heart and soul. You had a person like that in your life? I have. And I sought that person's counsel over and over again, because I knew that they were going to steer me down a path that maybe I hadn't seen, because we all need somebody who can see something we can't. That's really incredibly important. And we also need to listen to our gut. Inside that beautiful self of ours, we have a gut. We have an instinct. We have an intuition. We have a knowing. And we have to be listening to that. And I can't tell you how many times I have not listened to that and I've regretted it later. And I have to tell you how many times I have listened to it and it's been confirmed. Not that that's 100%, otherwise we'd be in this place of perfection, wouldn't we? But we have to listen to that as well. That needs to be part of our counsel. That needs to be part of our wisdom, team, if you will. You got to pray about it too. You got to pray about it, because I really believe that, God is really interested in the details of your life. And if you're not going to bring it to him, and if you're just going to leave it to yourself and just let things, kind of roll over and just keep it all inside, you're not going to get anywhere. You're not going to get anywhere fast. And you have to realize too that decision is not necessarily going to be a perfect one. It's not. But it will be a decision, because we all know that not making a decision is making a decision. It's defaulting to, I don't want to make a decision, therefore whatever happens, happens. And that's not a decision, even though it is. How's that for confusion? It's not, because it's defaulting to easy. It's defaulting to whatever will be, que sera, sera. Forget that, because that doesn't help. That doesn't help to move the needle. It just takes you out of the equation and doesn't make you responsible anymore, does it? But that's not going to work. And it's never worked before in the past. Why would it work now? Why do we look at that? Because we don't like confrontation. We don't like having to even confront ourselves, let alone somebody else, or confront our feelings or confront the hard stuff. But when we get in front of the hard stuff and we have the courage to talk about it and the guts to come at it, then sometimes that's where we find the wisdom. That's where we start to find the solutions, and we can start to maybe put the whole thing together. And like I said, we do need support when we're doing something like this. I am not advocating to be a Lone Ranger, but I am advocating against this whole idea of venting. We're not like chicken pot pies that need to vent so they won't, break, or a baked potato in the oven so it doesn't pop open. We don't need to vent. We don't need to vent. You get angry or whatever, go run on a treadmill or go run outside or something. Or just get outside and go, ugh. I don't think venting's healthy. I think talking about things constructively is healthy, if you want to call that venting. But just, to me, venting is just this endless litany of just complaining. It shrinks the hippocampus of your brain. There's research behind that shows that. It shrinks your brain. So how about this instead? That instead of going into that whole place, just say, I need support. And this is the place that I'm in. This is the decision that I need to make. These are the things that are really bothering me about it. This is when we get down to the brass tacks of how it is that we really feel. Because I don't believe that we can get past how it is that we really feel, get to the place of how it is that we really feel and what's really going on if we're just complaining about it. That complaining has its own buffer zone, and it keeps us in the place of just building a self-righteous case of why this is not our fault, is a lot of times what happens. And there's responsibility that needs to be taken as well. How'd you get here in the first place? You married that guy, or you had this, you made this decision 10 years ago to do X, Y, and Z, and now here it is. And we have to take responsibility for it. And we take responsibility for it when we stop complaining about it, and instead we talk about it in a constructive way with a friend who's going to help us to construct a better path. And then the other thing is, we need strategy time, girls. Have you ever found yourself in a place where you're so confused, you have so many things coming up, part of the overthinking, at one time that you just don't know what to do? Well, I'm promising you this. You can deconstruct it. You can write all these things down, and it doesn't have to be organized. Just jumble. Just do a brain dump on a piece of paper. And then think about it and look through every single one of those things and think about what would be the opposite of that, So if you're looking at something and you're saying, well, if I say that, then she's going to do this. Well, what's the opposite of that? What if you said this in a way that was loving and kind? Not setting them up so that you're flattering them or whatever, but you said something in a way that's loving and kind. And it wasn't like, you did this, you blah, blah. But instead, I feel really like this. This is how I feel. And what do you think this is about? What can we do about it as friends? I had a girlfriend confrontation like this one time a long time ago, and it went well. It did go well, but it took me about 2 weeks to figure this stuff out. And this is exactly what I did. I brain dumped the whole thing onto a piece of paper. I prayed about it. I journaled about it. And when it was time to talk about it, I used I statements because I had to take responsibility for my part. I was a part of this. So what's the common denominator in this problems? Is it you? Is it you? Are you seeing yourself pop up in these things? So we have to take responsibility for ourselves. And that's not to say we take all the responsibility, but it is taking the responsibility for ourselves, how we feel, and then presenting it, presenting it. What do they do? If you've watched those lawyer, those TV things, those CSI things, and the lawyer movies and series and all of that, when they get up there and they present their case, they go through the evidence. And that's what we have to do as we're looking through things. We have to look through the evidence, and we have to sort through it and figure it out and catalog it and figure out how it has any kind of implication on how it is that we're feeling or what's going on in this particular relationship, if that's the case. But we have to understand that overthinking it is a trap and will keep us there if we're unwilling to move on it and unwilling to be courageous enough to confront it as necessary. But before we do that, we've really got to get a handle of all the things. This is why a paper and pencil is so handy. It really is, because it helps to just get all of that stuff taken care of. And then here's the hard part, guys. If you're in a place where it just doesn't go anywhere, and I've had this happen with a close family member. But if you get to this place and you've figured all this stuff out and you've taken it from overthinking onto paper and you've laid it all out there and you've talked about it as best you can and talked to maybe a person that you needed to talk to about it, and it's still gotten nowhere, then you got to let it go. You got to let it go. It wasn't meant to be, and you have to allow give that person your forgiveness, and you have to give yourself your own forgiveness. What I've found is this, that the more that we hold on to things that aren't meant to be ours, the more energy we're putting into things that are just going to frustrate us, that are going to hurt us, that are going to upset us. And if we let them go and wish them well on their way, then we have the opportunity to put our energy into something that is constructive, that is for us, that is going to bless us, that's going to be a blessing and a wonderful relationship and be beautiful. But if we're going to overthink it and over-energize it and over-everything it, then we don't have the ability to take all of that beautiful energy that we have and give it to something that deserves our energy, that deserves our time, and that deserves our love. We have to stop being overthinkers and start being doers first. Doing is everything. Doing means that we're going to get the job done and we'll be able to move on to something else. And that's so critical and so important. Monica says, I'm still trying to figure out how to do that. You know what? Aren't we all? But what I just went through was the whole strategy on how to do it. So try some of those things. Maybe start writing them out. Maybe talk to a friend with support who's going to support you and not just listen to you whine and drone endlessly. Whining and droning endlessly shrinks your brain and does not create a solution. It just creates an escape hatch from that trap that you're in, or at least it does for a minute. Makes you feel better for a minute. I used to be on the phone for hours with friends, for hours, talking about stuff that I couldn't figure out, thinking that this was going to help. And then I'd get off the phone and think I felt better for a minute. Nope. Because I didn't take responsibility. I had rationalized and looked at everybody else's part in this and not my own. And that never, ever works. And that's part of the overthinking thing too, is we're looking at everybody, scrutinizing everybody else's, their hand in it and what they're doing, and not looked at our own stuff. So I believe it's time for us to all just sit up and start looking at our ways out of these things. And our ways out of these things is to use a strategy. Start with a strategy. Your journal is so helpful. Meditation is so helpful. Writing stuff down, a pro-con list, so helpful. And having that one woman, that one counselor in your life who is wise, who is brief, and who will not allow you to push back and throw it on to everyone else, but instead will call you out on your stuff. That's what we all need in our lives. That's how we grow and we become better, because that's what it's all about, you know? That's how we find our purpose and our mission in this life, is when we stop being so self-obsessed with what everybody else is doing and start looking at our own stuff and taking responsibility for it and then taking care of business as we need to. Let's be a doer. All right. I appreciate you guys. You are the best, and I appreciate you also throwing down those prayers on my behalf with this supplier. I really want to get this stuff handled, and it is pushing me to my last nerve. I have given it to God. Amen. Yahoo. Giddy up. But it's really time. It's really time that we have this guy step up, and I'm going to be calling him on it today. So prayers for me so that I can keep my little sharp tongue less sharp and be sweet and kind, but say what I need to say. All right? Thank you for that. I appreciate it. And at 4 p.m. today at Eastern Time, I will be doing a Taco Tuesday like you've never seen before. I'm going to show you how to do tacos in bulk, baby. This is what we all need, right? I appreciate you back, Catherine. Appreciate all of you. Thank you so much. I love you. Bye-bye.